Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome back to Red's Homestead. I gotta tell you what, my head cold is still here, but it is slowly dissipating. I just keep cough drops. Keeps me a little able to talk a little bit better. But one thing that I still need to get done today, we have to move our chicken run area that we had that's massive, get it back to the normal size so I can start prepping the area where I want my garden. So let's go ahead and knock that out real quick. So now I have to pull out the grounding rod that I had originally. It's about 2 foot rebar in the ground down over there. I don't have a tool to pull it, so it's kind of going to be digging and brute force. But let me show you what I found after digging a little bit. So if you were watching from the beginning, you noticed that this place was completely covered in clay. And we have put about 8 inches of wood chips, straw, rabbit poop, chicken poop, as much carbon type material that we got our hands on, and just spread it out all over here. And this little hole gives a great example of what it looks like. So we have our clay down here on the bottom, and then you've got still like 5 or 6 inches of wood chips right there. But what's been developing, here gives you a look at what's developing. So you got your nasty clay, but after about 6 months or so, there's a nice centimeter of beautiful, ready to plant in, broken down topsoil. So I'm hoping after years and years, I'm gonna have, an inch or two of that at least. At least that's the game plan. We didn't have chickens on here for too long. That area, the chickens were there for maybe a few weeks when I was testing out the other net. So I think if chickens were there for a lot longer, it would go a lot quicker because they would just break it down a lot faster. But for it only being there, nature breaking it down, it's not too bad. A centimeter for a few months of decay. It's good to see things are actually working. So what she just did was an extremely shallow till, maybe the top centimeter or so, just enough for a seed to really get in there. I don't want to disturb the soil too much because this is a slope that can really erode. So what we did is just really shallow, and here I'll close up look to this thing. So it's just enough to break up the soil down here, mixed in with all sorts of whatever, with the wood chips, the straw that we had sitting around. And now Shannon's gonna bring over the clover seed, and we're gonna spread it on top and then get this hay that we pulled off of it and put it right back on. Oh, that's staying in. got everything covered in straw, nice and watered in. And there's multiple purposes for having clover here. So this is sitting on the top of a bank. It'll keep the erosion under control from coming down a little bit. Plus, this is also going to be huge in nitrogen fixing on the soil that's up here. All the soil that runs down straight into my garden area right here. It's also the reason why I have my chicken run right here. There is a slight grade to about here, which is where my garden. So all water flows through to my garden, which may be a problem. We'll have to see. These chickens got me losing my train of thought. And when the chicken runs right here, when we want to start doing our bigger compost, big pile right here, let them stir and mix it all around. Then I can have my finished product right where you see that tripod stand. And then I can easily pull from that into the garden that I'm gonna have on both sides here. She goes, gets the kiddos off the bus.